So the study we did, which was a pretty big undertaking, we did a 6-month study. We got about 25 people to initially sign up, but 15 people completed the whole 6-month period, which is actually, it was all volunteer and they were paying for the program. So it was actually a pretty good that we had 15 people complete the whole thing. The reason why the study was pretty unique is most studies are done really in a clinical setting. And the reason for that is so they can really control measurables, because they want to know that there's, measurables are consistent. But clinical settings are not real life. Usually the workouts are not like how you would really work out. It's like, here's one exercise. Let's do one exercise and maybe make a comparison, or, a really simple program that people repeat a couple times and then they pre and post test. And most studies, the longest for fitness is usually like 8 weeks, because it's hard to control and get them people together. So this one was more of a real life, like, here's how you're going to be working out at home regularly for 6 months. So it was the longest study, I think, that's been done on BFR that I know of. And it was more of a real life fitness program. So that was good, because we wanted to just see, okay, someone's at home doing this on their own. They're not in a clinic with someone watching them. Like, how does it come out? The amazing thing that I was blown away by is we basically got significantly statistical results. That's a hard to say, in pretty much every category we tested. A couple categories weren't significant statistically, but if you so like pain, for example, wasn't statistically significant, except if you took everyone that had a high pain score, then it was significantly statistic. It was just like, if someone had low pain, there's not that much room for them to go down. So if you just change, move the data, not by, changing it, but just focus on the people that had pain, that went down significantly. Same with exercise adherence. If someone was working out a lot, there's not a lot of room for them to work out more, but the people who weren't working out a lot before the test, on average, increased the amount they're working out per week by 2 days, which is super huge, from just showing that this is a doable method that people are more likely to do on their own, because it's short, it doesn't hurt their body, they feel results, they get positive momentum. So really every category has statistically significant results. So I'm just going to show the study briefly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just so you can see it, I'm going to highlight a couple pages. So I'm going to share really quick here. So, of course, there's Cheryl on the cover page, because, she was our model in a lot of the shoots. And, of course, there's Emily, which is a fun photo. But what I want to show you, so it's I encourage you to check it out and read it if you haven't. It seems long, but it's really a pretty quick read. But here's where it shows the significant results. So body composition, waist circumference went down by an average of basically 1.5 inches. And that's on average, with some people, not having much change. But some people had as much as 1% as much as 4.5 inches. And this is not using GLP-1 or anything. This is just doing this program. And hip circumference also went down significantly, but slightly less than waist, which actually means that there's a measurement called waist hip circumference ratio that predicts health, because it's kind of looking at subcutaneous fat and visceral fat, and it's a really big marker for health. So everybody's waist hip circumference improved, which shows a sign of better health from a body comp standpoint. The other cool thing is strength went up significantly. So the average push-up went up by 13 reps. Wow. And the wall sit on average went up by over a minute, 69 seconds. So those are super significantly statistical. And the cool thing is, when you look at the body comp going down, which shows loss of body fat, and strength going up, and weight change slightly downwards, but not that much, not significantly statistical, but that shows that actual muscle mass increased, because their body fat went down more than their weight went down, and their strength went up. And so obviously it would be better if we could use a DEXA scan, which I'm actually working with DEXA right now on maybe doing another study and using DEXA scan. But without a DEXA scan, that's about as clear as you can get that there was increase in muscle mass. So that's huge. The other thing that was great, cardiovascular health. So we just looked at people's resting heart rate, which is a super simple, test. When you're sitting, relaxed, what's your heart rate? It went down by almost 4 beats per minute on average. Resting heart rate is a super important baseline measurement of health. It relates to blood pressure. It relates to health of your heart. It relates to health of your vascular system. And so decreasing that by 4 beats on average is pretty amazing. And then again, the pain, anyone who reported pain over level 5 went down by an average of 4 levels. So from like a 6 to a 2. So that's huge. And I think that's also why exercise adherence increased. Because if you're in pain when you're working out, it's going to be demotivating to go work out, or if the pain increases when you work out. So having the pain go down and having these quick results people are getting really increase the behavioral outcomes. So people who were low exercisers before, under 3 days a week, increased on average 2 days a week of their exercise. If you look at the subgroup, which just broke it out, so largest body composition improvements were people that were previously exercising less than 3 days a week. So that's not surprising. They were working out less before. Now they increased their exercise, they got better results. But the fact that they were able to increase their exercise is the surprising part. The other one is all changes in the study, meaning body fat, strength, heart health, pain, everything, all changes were higher in the group older than 50. This is one of my favorite stats because what this is telling us, so if someone's working out before doing the study and they're over 50, and someone else is working out before the study and they're, let's say, in their early 40s, and then they do the study and they get better results because they're over 50. That's because the people that were 40 who were working out were getting better results from their regular workouts at 40 because they have better hormones. They have more hormones happening. So they're getting a better result from just your typical strength workout. People over 50 who have a decline in hormones struggle to get the same results they used to get from their normal workout. And now you add BFR in and you get this robust hormonal response, specifically human growth hormone. And all of a sudden they're getting a sharper increase in results because it's helping their hormones kick back in. Where the people who are younger, they'll still get an improvement, but not as big of an improvement. Does that make sense, you guys? So really speaking to how BFR helps hormones, helps our hormones function better, helps give us that surge of hormones. And the study I reviewed last time about the blood lactate explains why that's happening. We get a significantly more increase in accumulated blood lactate when you do BFR training than heavy lifting, more than heavy lifting. And that is what causes a disproportionate hormonal response that is super important post menopause. So I'm going to leave that there. There were some cool case studies on specific people that, if you want to look at that yourself, was really cool. The people that had really significant results in certain areas. But that's basically what I wanted to go through. The other thing I was going to share really quick, I'm going to play just 2 quick video testimonials for you guys from people that were in the study. And then I'm going to finish with kind of my thoughts on this. And then I would love to get any comments or Q&A. So let me share my screen one more time. Okay, so this is Inger. She was in the study, and this is her, one of her, I did an interview with her, and this is one of her testimonial clips. Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
No.
You can't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Shoot. Maybe I can't play this. Does anyone know how to do that on Zoom? All right. Well, I thought I would just go through to audio, but I guess it's on my audio. Maybe if I take my earbuds out. Let me try that really quick. Okay, I'm going to try this. Give me a thumbs up if you hear it, or a thumbs down if you don't. No, I don't even hear it now. Okay. I'll send these
to you guys if you're curious to hear them. But basically, what Inger is saying is all of her friends were like literally asking her, what was she doing? They all were struggling with the same body changes. And Inger had done all the regular lifting before that wasn't working. And she started Sally's Strength. And people started literally asking her what she's doing. I know some of you on this call have had that too. But it just speaks to that this is different hormonally than other workouts, because it's not like Inger's super fit and super active, but it just was different. And then Jay talked about, she had 3 surprises. The first was after the very first workout, how quickly her energy increased. She just felt immensely more energy throughout her day. She didn't have the afternoon crash. And then after a few weeks, she was surprised at how strong she felt. And then she thought, well, that's what I'm getting. And then after a couple months, her body really changed. She lost inches in her waist and her arms and her legs that she had never been able to lose before, despite being very active before the study. So both of these women were super active going into the study and still had these results. And that speaks to how different this method is from a hormonal standpoint. So I'm sorry I couldn't show those, but that was the gist of what they said. So my takeaway that I'll share, and like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys, any questions or comments. I really was thinking about that this weekend. My mom visited us last week, and it's really sad. She has a trainer 3 times a week, but I don't know what they do. But like, she is the most frail I've ever seen her. She walks completely rounded with her head barely up. She has her legs and butt. She has no butt. Her legs are tiny. Every time she takes a step, I'm like worried she's gonna fall. She's 83, so she's older, but it doesn't have to be this way. So I just was looking at that, and I know all of us in this generation have seen our parents age to a certain point, and we're kind of the first generation that more broadly has had exercise as part of our life, or known that exercise is such an important part of our life. But I'm even more excited that this method, which is brand new to fitness, like, is going to really change the way that people can age, because it makes this ability to get these hormones and strength and energy and our body feeling better and less pain more accessible. It's no longer you either have to crush your body to get results, or you just have to settle for working out light and know you're kind of losing fitness over time, which is, kind of the decision point I was at with my hip. So not to get too sappy, but I just had this epiphany this weekend of like, this is where, I remember hearing this in the conference I was in, and my mind just like having this epiphany. And like, I don't know how I saw it then, but like, this is going to change the way people age. Like, I really believe that. And I think some of you on this call have felt that yourself. So I'm just excited. This study was like a small step in sort of trying to get more out there. We're meeting with a woman who's a scientist next week who loved our study, who wants to do more. And so anyway, we'll see where this goes, but I'm excited to have all of you guys here. And I know a lot of you are really committed and feel the same way. And I know some of you are newer, like Donna, and are still trying to figure out if this method, makes sense or how it works. But